Alright, so it is time for the weekly graded assignment for Chapter 5. So don't stress out about this. It's going to be really, really simple. All we're doing is writing a function that is called area of circle and takes an argument of r, and it's going to return the area of a circle with a radius of r. So it's going to be a fruitful function. It's going to need to return something. The function tells you right here, it's going to need to return something. So it's going to take an r, and it's going to return the area of a circle with the radius of r. And they tell you right here that the area of any circle is equal to its radius squared multiplied by pi. So anytime you get a radius, the area of the circle with that radius is going to be radius squared multiplied by pi. And then you need to know that you're going to need to include the math module if you want to use pi, if you want to use the number pi. So when you do that, and you can tell down here, they've kind of tipped you off to it in the test functions down below, that once you import math, you can then use math.pi in order to get pi written out to however many digits or whatever that the math module includes. So make sure that you're using that when you go about doing this. So you want to define your function up here, then you want to implement your function so that it can return the area of a circle whose radius is r. So define the function and then make sure that it's working. Okay, and you can use these down below in order to check it. So if you just once you've got your function defined up here, making sure that you define it exactly with this name, and you run it, it will actually run it through these test answers here to make sure that it works. So you can see it's not going to work here because I haven't defined area of circle. So if I define area of circle r like they asked me to, and then don't actually return anything, I'll just return false and try to run it. Whoops, return, is it capitalized? Return false. Yeah, there we go. And make sure that I import math. So there we go. You can see here that it's going to tell you when you try to implement it whether or not your test actually returns what they expect for the answer when they pass in these numbers. So you can see it, my first one passed here when I entered false as my return, just because false and 0 equal the same thing in Python, and because of kind of weird reasons. So don't worry about that. Just make sure that your program passes all of these tests, and it should be good to turn into Vocarium.